that.
Novak, pet peeve?
Yeah, so my pet peeve, I'm going away from football because I'm so angry at football right now because of the Jets and everything else, Justin fucking Fields. So, um, we've been off for like a month, and I was trying to think like what angered me the most. And I've always felt that I don't think that these sports leagues actually fix things or cheat. I do think, however, that you know, like the referees we've talked about, the NFL might say to the referees, well, we do so much better when the Chiefs are good. Like they don't say, do something for the Chiefs, because you're supposed to do that, but they throw it out there, right? I mean, those things I think happen. The one league, however, that I feel I've always been questionable whether or not they fix things is the NBA. And as a Knicks fan, I do believe that back in the day when they had those cards and they pulled out the Patrick Ewing going to the Knicks, I think that was fixed. I do. I really do. Just because you've heard the story, they put that one card in the freezer the night before so that when David Stern put his hand in, it was cold, so he picked out the card for the Knicks. Have you heard this?
I have not
I've heard that
actually.
Yeah, there was a whole documentary on that. You got to find it. But it was that they put it in the freezer, so when he reached his hand in that thing, he pulled out the cold card that was the Knicks for Patrick Ewing. So I have always felt that the NBA is a little shady. This Luka Doncic thing is such a bunch of horseshit.
Yeah.
Why is this guy going to the Lakers? And I'll tell you the reason he's going to the Lakers, because the NBA was like, oh shit, we might have an Oklahoma City Cleveland final. That can't happen. We got to get LeBron James some help. And so what GM in their right mind would trade away the 5th or 6th best player in the NBA for a broken down Anthony Davis and a couple other scrubs? This was fixed. I'm convinced of it. So my pet peeve is the NBA is a fixed league. I don't believe that. I think this was fixed, and I'm putting it out there now. You know who's going to win the NBA draft lottery? The Dallas Mavericks. This is going to be payback
to make up. Yeah.
They're going to get Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Because you trade away Doncic, let him go to the Lakers because the NBA makes more money when the Lakers are good.
No doubt.
So that was my pet peeve. And no one talked about this. I was so angry about this trade, just because they're going to be good now, and I hate the Lakers. So yeah, my pet peeve is the Luka Doncic trade, which I think is bullshit.
Novak, I have to tell you something. I've been going to Dallas lately, and in Dallas right now, they're in full meltdown mode because they got rid of Doncic for nothing, and then Kyrie Irving is out for the year with a torn ACL. Yep. So right now, the Mavericks are in free fall. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. I think they're in 14th place in the conference. They aren't going to make the playoffs, and everyone is just flipping out in terms of what's happened to this franchise that, of course, was doing well. And I was at the Dallas airport, and of course, one of the restaurants there is called Nowitzki's.
Yep,
Dirk Nowitzki. So it's like you're sitting there, and you're basically outside of the Cowboys. The Mavericks are the next closest thing that has a following there. I know the Rangers have had success, but I think it's the Mavericks and the Cowboys.
If they win the draft lottery, you heard it here first. I'm just putting that out there.
That's a factor there I've not heard before.
Yeah.
But my soon-to-be brother-in-law, he and I watched an 11 or 16-minute YouTube video about all this stuff, and it was extremely compelling. The argument for why the fix was in on this.
Oh, really? I got to see that.
Yep. It's like a 16, I don't know the name of it or anything, but it's out there, and it lays out the case, goes back a few years, it is like, yeah, okay, I get this.
I don't put anything
sense
past these leagues to do some shit. Nothing, especially the NBA.
Especially the NBA with Donahue, and Donahue had always said that he wasn't the only one that was involved in situations with gambling, and they swept that under the rug.
Yeah.
Well, if you look back, there's a documentary about back in 2003. Remember when the Sacramento Kings were good?
Oh, that was terrible. That game, that single game against the Lakers.
100%. Yep. That was totally fixed because the NBA is just printing dollars. They did not want the Sacramento Kings in the NBA Finals over the Lakers. If you watch that game, it was a travesty that they won that game, the Lakers.
If you go back, Novak, that game, Sacramento Kings had a 12-point lead going into the fourth quarter against the Lakers. And somehow the Lakers in that fourth quarter ended up with like 17 more free throws.
Yep.
In the quarter.
Than the Kings, who had a 12-point lead or whatever going into that fourth quarter. Yeah. How does that happen? It doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
So, all right, we got a lot of questions. So Peacock Corner